The Battle of the Atlantic was the longest military engagement of the Second World War, when sailors transported vital cargoes of food, oil and munitions to ensure Britain's survival.
German U-boats were a constant danger and thousands of Allied sailors were killed. 100-year-old veteran Tony Cash has been reliving his wartime experience, as Steve Humphrey reports.
In the grim struggle to maintain our supplies of food and weapons, ceaseless watch is kept as lookouts search the ocean for any signs of lurking U-boats or surface raiders.
If you survive, I still maintain we're very lucky. I mean, people I know have gone, and yet there was one ship I was on, the tanker. I left, and then she was torpedoed next trip.
So this one shows that you joined the Ulster Monarch,
Yeah.
and you joined it in Liverpool.
With his crystal clear memories and vivid descriptions, it's hard to believe Tony Cash is now 100 years old. He survived the Battle of the Atlantic, in which over 75,000 Allied sailors were killed in the struggle to maintain a constant flow of food and military supplies into Britain in the face of constant attacks by German U-boats and aircraft.
We often wondered how we would, pass on, whether we burnt or blown up. We don't. It's the thing, But I suppose it was a bit scary, but we still had our duties to do.
Tony was lucky. Only once was one of his ships hit and damaged by enemy action.
Do you feel proud that your generation got Britain through that period?
Well, I think so. I think we all played a part, the Army, Navy, Air Force and Merchant Navy. But I think the Merchant Navy played a great part.
He'd signed up for the Merchant Navy when he was just 16 years old.
Everyone thought the war was going to end in a couple of weeks, but then it came up for 6 years.
In October 1940, Tony became a Royal Navy sailor when his ship was taken over by the Admiralty.
Did the Navy uniform help to attract the girls?
I don't know so much. They used to touch the collar for luck.
Later in the war, Tony returned to the Merchant Navy, continuing to move from ship to ship and sailing around the world. New York was a favourite destination.
And we had tickets for the Radio City, Empire State Building, and I got to know New York, like so you down on Main Street in Weymouth.
Today, he'll be remembering the shipmates who made the ultimate sacrifice.
How did I come to survive? That's the thing. And yet I was on the same ship with people who maybe on the next ship lost their lives. It's an unusual world, isn't it?
Amazing man. That's Tony Cash talking to Steve Humphrey on this Remembrance Sunday.
Now, King Charles will lead the annual Remembrance Sunday commemoration at the Cenotaph on Whitehall later, where thousands of veterans, army personnel and members of the public will gather to pay their respects.
Our royal correspondent Sarah Campbell is in London for us this morning. A peaceful morning by the looks of it. The weather looks fair as well, which is good. Everyone will be gathering for 11 o'clock.